Hey Erica, how you going?
Hi, Emily. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for taking some time with me today so that we can find out about you and your Ondock journey so far. So tell us a little bit about you. What do you like to do in your spare time, your hobbies, family? What are your interests?
I am very into CrossFit, so I try and do that every day, even with the gym being closed. I really like reading, so I do that as much as I can. And anything that my family and I can do, especially in the current situation, there's not much we can go do, but being outside with both my girls and my husband and our two dogs, taking walks, going for bike rides, things like that. So.
You had me at CrossFit.
I know we've talked about this. I got to get you the interest to come here.
Yeah, I'd love to get back into it again soon. But so tell us a little bit about your what you've done in the past, your work history, what you do now.
So I've been with the same company for about 14 years. It's an environmental company, and I'm the finance exec for that job for that company. So we do like mold remediation, asbestos, lead, things like that. So yeah, I've been there for almost 15 years. So that's my day job. Prior to that, I had a lot of different random things I did, but I've been with them for just about 14, 15 years. So.
Yeah. And so Ondock's your side hustle?
Yes, but right now it's like my main hustle.
Yeah.
Just because I'm still working from home for my other company, but we're not really considered essential. So it's been nice to be able to focus more on Doc.
Yeah, it's definitely given the time for that. So how did you find out about Ondock originally and when did you join?
I found out originally because I was actually I was working for another company selling products. And one of my sisters who lives in Pennsylvania, put a post out for me. And Mindy Hobson actually knew my sister and reached out to her about what I was selling. We started talking. She purchased a couple things, and then she actually one day was just like, hey, you know what? You think you want to watch this little 2-minute video? And I watched it. I sat down with my husband. He watched it, and we decided, yeah, why not? Give it a shot. And that was January of 2019 that I first got that little video.
Yeah,
So,
and the rest is history. So what do you love most about Ondock?
I love everything that it stands for, that it's not pushing things down people's throats that no one necessarily needs. As far as I'm concerned, it's an imperative need for everybody, not just given the current situation, just in general, and for everybody. Myself being a mother, it's great for me having 2 young kids. My husband does a lot of stay away work. It's great for him to have it. Senior citizens, kids in college. So what I love most about it is that the integrity behind the business. It's very easy to work for a company and be passionate about it when you see everybody else around you who's involved in it, including, Robert and Bill, who are just as passionate and really want to see people succeed.
So how have you seen success, or what has been what has worked for you since you've been in the business the most?
So, I've tried a couple different things. I've done some events. I've gone to local places. What seems to work for me is I reach out in a lot of different groups, whether they be local to where I live, or mom groups, or female empowerment entrepreneur groups, and just really listen for what people are looking for. They can't pay out of pocket how much it costs to take their kid to the doctor, or they already know the answers and they're paying all this money to go see a doctor. So it's really about, kind of, I don't want to say fishing around, but kind of working through different groups and even, people I personally know, and looking for what it is that they need, because everyone needs a little something different. But with the whole thing of OnDoc, someone finds, something for everyone, and everyone's always looking for extra income. So it's worked for me to go through the groups, and so obviously social media, and also reaching back out to people who maybe I talked to 6 months ago, a year ago, that might have been a no and now they're a maybe, or now they're a part of my team. So kind of just being genuine and really talking to people and seeing what they need.
Yeah. What is the goal that you have with being with Ondock? Like, what does it help you achieve for your life, like your life goal or commitment?
So for me, Robert and I have talked about this. He always says he wants the day to come where I walk across the stage and we're both crying and I announce that my husband no longer has to work. So it would be really nice. He's a very hardworking man. So it'd be great to one day be able to tell him he doesn't have to work anymore. Another big thing is being able to put money aside for my daughters. So that's mainly, it's family oriented, being able to give more to them going forward, and my family in general.
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody who was newly looking at joining the business? What advice would you give them?
Do not get overwhelmed. People feel like, talking to people who are thinking about joining up or who have just joined up, whether it be on my team or just in general, everyone feels like they need to take in all of the information and all of the training and all the marketing materials and all of the websites in one sitting. And it's overwhelming because there's so much to offer, and we have such great, back offices and marketing websites and materials to share with people. So my biggest thing is just don't overwhelm yourself with feeling the need to know everything right then and there. Everyone does things differently. I have a different thing that I say, I could recite it in my sleep. Everyone has different ways in which to approach this. And it's just knowing that it's a great business, and everything else will come. You'll find your way in which to reach out to people, to communicate with people. So that's my biggest thing, is just take it one day at a time. Don't feel inundated with information and the need to absorb it all in one sitting.
Yeah. All right. And do you have a favorite quote that you like to remind yourself of, or that you live by?
Yes. My favorite quote is, you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. My husband tends to say, I always say, you only live once, you only live once. So I think it comes from that quote.
Yeah. All right. And what about, do you have a favorite book or something you've read recently that you would recommend to others, or you'd reread it?
So this is really hard because I am an avid reader, but my main type of reading is like thriller, or I'm a diehard Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
But whenever I think about my favorite book, it's I guess considered a kid's book, Bridge to Terabithia. It's the first book that really got me into reading. And it was the first really sad book at a young age that taught me all these different life lessons. And my 11-year-old just read it last year. So that's probably, if I had to say a favorite book of all time, that's probably it.
What was it called again?
Bridge to Terabithia.
Bridge to Terabithia.
It is like a kid's book, but it's got some sad stuff, and it's a really good book. So
how old were you when you first read the book?
I think I was in, I want to say 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
I was in an advanced reading group, and it was one of the books they gave us, and I bawled my eyes out and was so angry at my teacher for making me read it. And then I reread it, and then my girls and I just watched the movie recently, and they cried and I cried. So it was just a good book to kind of realize how many different emotions you can feel reading a book.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to have for breakfast?
I think my favorite thing is probably avocado toast with tomatoes and everything but the bagel seasoning. It's probably my go-to.
Yeah. What would you say, or what would your husband say is your best and worst quality?
My worst quality, he would probably say, is my OCD behavior, which tends to lead to me moving his stuff. And then I think I look at it as it's being put away. He looks at it like he's lost it and I moved it for no reason. So probably my tendency to move things on him. I think my best quality would probably be, he would say how nurturing I am and caring I am. As a mother, towards friends and family, I think that's what he would say, nurturing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for spending some time so we can get to know you a bit better and how you are doing in your Ondock business. Let's chat again soon.
Yes, absolutely.